So I've been having a discussion behind the scenes with clients, even a mastermind I'm in, and absolutely my team members on this side here as well too. And it's been around this buzzword that I feel like in the coaching space, especially, I truly believe, which has brought me success, has been really from raindrop just dropped in my head, has really been from understanding the difference between what community really means and understanding what it is that people genuinely want, right? I believe that most people who are coming around into the coaching space as your clients, right? So let's just say right now you're a coach, creator, expert, consultant, and you have some kind of program you're trying to sell people into. As you know, for me, I really focus on the higher ticket side of things there. So if that's you right now and you're trying to think, okay, how can I go ahead and improve my offer? How can I go ahead and increase my closing rates? How can I go ahead and get more conversions for what I'm doing? I believe you need to stop putting so much energy into the general word community, right? And here's what I mean by that. Because I was realizing when I was having several conversations around this, I'm realizing that I view it far different than how most coaches are honestly viewing the term community there. For myself, when I think about what it is that my clients want, and I want you to view this as well too, because for you, I can almost guarantee that this is how your clients feel as well too, and your prospective clients. They don't care so much about community in the way that you're thinking of it. When you think of a community, you're thinking of, your local community, this big group of people who are heavily engaged, all of this. And once again, I will say this depends on your niche, but for myself, what I've seen with my type of people, what they care more about than community is actually getting direct access to someone who can help them. People who work with me, they want to grow their business, point blank, period, right? And so to think that what matters more than that is, oh, let me just understand, let me go ahead and make sure they have a great group of people around here. And that's going to be actually more important than anything. And I will say this, I'm a big believer that there's three big pieces. Results is one of them, right? So absolutely, and when it comes to client success, results is one of them. We have to make sure that we're getting our clients results. Number two is experience, right? What's the experience like on this side? And I think that's the second one that really people think about when it comes to the community side, is that the experience has to be powerful. And so what I want to flip that on its head for you is, I believe that yes, that's important, but that's not as important really as you made someone feel. And I really feel like how you make someone feel ties back towards what kind of results do they get on the way and their experience in working with you with having that. So yet again, both matter, but I believe, and if you want to know the third comment down below, I'll tell you the other one. But if you want to understand what I believe is that you have to first get that part right. And what I believe that they want when it comes down to experience is they paid you. You're the influencer, the guru in their eyes, they're whatever it is. You're the one who's got the answers. And so if you're not willing to go ahead and separate yourself in a way, and that's why I want to really explain to you my take on this. This is how I've grown, a business coaching business over $2 million, over 4 million in client results, because I have put more of an energy on this. And this has come over time. For myself, I have not always viewed it this way. I started off really feeling like, and I've had always, even to this day, I have free communities, I have paid communities. And regardless, I have just seen that it is a ton of work to actually have an engaged community. I'm impressed when I see an engaged community. Most people try and here's the thing, they might even get it for a little bit. I've seen it where you can be very engaged for a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. But to keep that up for multiple years is a very difficult thing to do. And I would argue it just is not where your priorities should lie in the business. All right. You would rather have it focused on what the customer actually wants. And I believe for me that if you structure your offer that way, you will get better results. Better results for your own business because you're actually speaking towards what it is that people want. The problem is that too many people are trying to make their community feel like this amazing pillar within it. I talk to clients all the time on our kickoff calls. We're really diving into what I call your bestseller offer. And for a lot of them, they're acting like the community and support is the thing that's going to help them stand out from everybody, when that could not be further from the truth on your side. You have to have it where you need to have something else. That's where people talk about unique mechanisms. That's where people are talking about all these other keys, because that's what's going to help you stand out, as opposed to, oh, I offer support. Oh, I offer this. It's like, all right, that support is critical, but it has to be tied towards a way that you present your solution as something different. And then what matters most within that is how are they going to have support on that road that you're taking them down. Now, the difference between you talking this way and someone else talking community is like, I mean, this is common sense. It's like, oh, hey, you have a community of people you can ask questions to and all this stuff. Like-minded individuals. I mean, I hear that and I almost like kicks trauma in, right? So you want to have it where you're not leaning on that as the way that you're going to get results. You're using that as a way to really be an added bonus. Now, for a lot of you out there, I'm big on running paid ads. I'm really strong on offer side, systems and processes. I just realized once again, I've done things. My first $300,000 online was purely organic. Now that I really focus more so on running ads, I've seen the difference of really how different people like to buy. When it's organically, people will just trust you a little bit more, right? There's a little bit more of that kind of natural trust because you've been in DM conversation with them. They've been following you organically for so long. And that's a beautiful thing. The tough part is that obviously organic is tough to scale and keep predictable, right? Because you're kind of relying on this lottery algorithm system. But with ads, you need to have it where it becomes a no-brainer offer that much more. And people are just finding out about you and you can have people buying very quickly through that way. At the same time, you want to have it where you understand that yet again, at the core, they are buying because of you. They're buying because of your solution. And that's why whenever it comes to any kind of community offer, anything like this, I am really focused more so on, hey, this is just where people exist, but the focus is not them. The focus is you connecting with me. You and I working together to grow your business. If you're a personal trainer, you and I working together to help you lose weight. You and I working together to insert result. And that's why I want to really just have it hit home for you today. It's a simple concept that has really hit home for me. I think it's just been a no-brainer. And like I said, it's because I've been running communities for 5-6 years now. But this is why I'm making this topic today, how this all came together. Like I said, how they're viewing it is more so around, I want to go ahead and have a very engaged community. They are getting what I like to view it as kind of triggered in a sense where they really feel if they're going to have a community, it has to be something spectacular. It has to be a place where people are engaged, where people are constantly chiming in, all of these things. And what I really try to orchestrate within any community that I'm building is more so the fact that, hey, this is a place now that you can be around these people. They're going to achieve the same goal. They're all approaching the same strategy. But the reality here is that you don't need to focus so much on, hey, I want you to become best friends with all these people. I need you to become engaged because that's what this community is all about. I just know for my people, that is not what they care about. And I want you to think about that at its core. Like a lot of clients I'm working with, I work with a lot of coaches, like I said, experts, consultants. They are working with busy people typically. These people have families, right? They're mothers, fathers. They don't have all the time in the world to get engaged with some extra thing. They're already trying to be engaged in their local community, their own family, their friends. They don't talk to them enough. So we're trying to orchestrate something that is flawed to start with, and like I said, the problem is that we view it, this is how I view it with people who are very successful with going viral with their content, all these things too. We see the unicorns and we try to replicate what they're doing, and we don't realize how much work it takes to actually get to that. And a lot of times we don't have the time to do that, the energy to do that, the capacity to do that, and we don't have to, luckily, right? Like maybe you're not looking for 200,000 followers on Instagram, right? But what you are looking for is a consistent income. And the paths to getting to both are very different, though both can come with it, but you don't need both to make that happen there. And so that's why when it comes down to community, I want you to view this the exact same way. Community is a bolt-on. It is a deliverable that you are adding in that you can host your people all together. You don't need to view it as this magical community where people are all becoming best friends and all these things here too. If you can flip it that way and focus more so on what people want, which is that direct connection with you, you will make more money because you're actually speaking towards what it is they want at the end of the day. I just really wanted that to hit home for you. Like I said, I just feel like people get triggered by this term community, and I mean it in a way where they just view it in a way that they are putting too much stress on it. And now I think the biggest piece that I really want to hit home on is that you're now missing out on a great deliverable just because you think that you have to go all the way with it. Or to the other extreme, you're taking it too far, and now you're actually hurting your core energy, really, I mean, because now you're focusing too much energy on just your community. So you're lacking on the marketing and sales side. You're lacking on actually leaning into one-on-one support with people. And you're trying to focus too much on how can I expand this community here in a way that can take care of everything for me. And once again, maybe you can get to that point. I think that as you start to grow your volume more, as you start to get way more people in there, that stuff can naturally start to take hold. The best communities that I know have hundreds and thousands of people in it. And it's a volume at that point. The numbers are working in your favor, and you can make it to where it's more engaged. But I made a video about this the other day. A lot of times a lot of these clients and coaches I'm talking to, they're just starting off. They're very early on. Maybe they have a few clients, for a handful, maybe 10, maybe a dozen, maybe 20. But that's not really enough to get that kind of engagement that you're talking about there. So instead of trying to go ahead and bang your head against the wall to fix this, I would go ahead and say, hey, how can I go ahead and actually do something that my people want, get them to the result that I promised them, and let that be the focus. Watch it change everything for you. All right, I'll see you the next time around. I'll drop a video link here too to help you with the offer side, because like I said, community to me is just a bolt-on. You want to really have where the offer focuses on the solution and the core mechanism, and you can just position that support as a way to help expedite the results for them. You do that and you tie community to it as an addition instead of the focus and the engagement that you feel like it needs to be. Watch how it changes everything for you.